Por fin, we seize the time, free at last. Learn to love, live to fight, not just for me, but for others. Teach the new blood and live for freedom. I survived the COINTELPRO assassinations, AIDS epidemic, crack era fractured the nation. The interpretation of American democracy is best exemplified in its foreign policy dichotomy. I live a double life of political philosophy, but revolution follows me to struggle for equality against the morally bankrupt, claiming to be born again. It's a civil war again, like MS-13's origin. Ban ethnic studies claiming our culture will swallow them, but you can't conquer people and build a country on top of them, and then feel offended that they breathe the same oxygen. Your family values lack the wisdom of Solomon, but Operation Condor and Operation Bootstrap are poli-sci.
Shalom Yisrael. I want to start off by giving HALAL Yhwh by HAMASHHYACH. That's all honor, all praise, and all glory to the Most High God Yahweh. And we do so by, I do so by HAMASHHYACH. I'm just gonna do a quick little lesson on being part of a body and the importance of being part of a body. Because if in order for a body to move properly, we need all limbs, all ligaments need to be working properly and doing their role. Right. Not saying that your leg can't give out every now and then the rest of the body have to kind of like pick up the slack. That's what the body's there for, so that when one side's weak, the other sides pick up the slack. But when everything runs smoothly, when everyone's doing their part, it runs smoothly. Forgive me. Now, as an Israelite, right? As Israelites, the body as a whole, the nation as a whole, we got ourselves into this predicament that we're in. We got ourselves in the curses, right? We're in the grave, we're in Sheol, we're not doing it right now. As a body is how we're gonna get out. YAHAWASHAI, who the Messiah said two things, the two main commandments is love the Lord thy God above all, and love your brother, love your sister, love your people. As soon as you do that, everything else is easy, right? So he gives us instruction, he gives us kind of the blueprint on how to work together. He always has us work together to be part of the body, right? When you think about it, in Genesis, it says the Elohim, right? The Elohim is what created the world. It was a team that did it, right? So I want to jump to Numbers 3. You know what? I'm going to read it in the NLT to make it a little easier. To show that, to give an example, because there's multiple times of the Most High putting roles to make the body work better. Because he wants us to be part of a body. He wants us to be part of a team. He doesn't want us to take our talents and go hide it somewhere. He wants us to go to the highways and byways and make the body stronger. Alright, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 21. The descendants of Gershon were composed of the clans descended from Libni and Shimei. There were 7,500 males, 1 month old or older, among these Gershonite clans. They were assigned the area to the west of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Gershonite clans was Eliasaph, son of Lael. So they were assigned the west camp, the west part of the tabernacle. This is their responsibility. These two clans were responsible to take care for the tabernacle, including the sacred tent with its layers of coverings, the curtain at its entrance, the curtains of the courtyard that surrounded the tabernacle and altar, the curtain at the courtyard entrance, the ropes, and all the equipment related to their use. That's their job. Verse 27, the descendants of Kohath were composed of the clan descended from Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. There were 8,600 males, 1 month old or older among these Kohathite clans. They were responsible for the care of the sanctuary, and they were assigned the area south of the tabernacle for their camp. So they focus on the south portion of the tabernacle. Verse 30. The leader of the Kohathite clans was Elizaphan, son of Uzziel. These 4 clans were responsible for the care of the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the various articles used in the sanctuary, the inner curtain, and all the equipments related to their use. Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, was the chief administrator over all the Levites, with special responsibility for the oversight of the sanctuary. The descendants, so that was their duties. Verse 33, the descendants of Merari were composed of the clans descended from Mali and Mushi. There were 6,200 males, 1 month or older among these Merarites clans. They were assigned the area north of the tabernacle for their camp. The leader of the Merarite clans was Zuriel, son of Abihail. These 2 clans were responsible for the care of the frames supporting the tabernacle, the crossbars, the pillars, the bases, and all the equipment related to their use. They were also responsible for the posts of the courtyard and all their bases, pegs, and ropes. The area in front of the tabernacle, in the east toward the sunrise, was reserved for the tents of Moses and of Aaron and his sons, who had the final responsibility for the sanctuary on behalf of the people of Israel. Anyone other than a priest or a Levite who went too near the sanctuary was to be put to death. When Moses and Aaron counted the Levite clans at the Lord's command, the total number was 22,000 males, 1 month old or older. So that also shows the important duties, because they were going to put to death for not following the rules, so trying to overtake or do, you know what I mean? They were specific. There's always instruction. The Bible is a book of instruction, wisdom, prophecy, so on and so forth. Right? But again, like I said, the Bible, by and large, a big chunk of the Bible talks about the body. It's not about one person, it's about multiple people doing their role. We together got ourselves in a mess, together we got to get ourselves out of it. Right? There's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37 and verse Ezekiel 37:10. Back to the KJV. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Not one man, an exceeding great army. The mixed multitude that comes down also will be an exceeding great army. Right? Bam. So the 144,000, the mixed multitude, the 1/3, Israel is an exceeding great army, and we need to be on the same page. If we're not on the same page, on the same accord, it's gonna be a problem. You know, and when YAHAWASHAI comes back, whoever's not in line, whoever's not with it, gets dealt with. And it goes back to the grace is not gonna be there no more, and it's gonna go back to the ways of how the Christians say back. That's in the Old Testament. It's gonna go back to that. Right? If you're not with it, if you don't get with the program, you're done. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 1:10. It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. He doesn't want us to go too far off into different ways of course, different churches had different ways of, different protocols, but they were in the same mind. They worshiped the same God, Yahweh, right? So they weren't worshiping the Messiah. They weren't doing all this things that the modern church is doing today. Everyone, even Christ, everybody was in the same page. Right? Different ways of doing it, but in the same accord. The law was that accord, was that same accord. All right, let's jump over to chapter 11. Verse 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So that's a hierarchy. They all do their job. The women take care of the children, teach the children. The man teaches the woman, takes care of the woman, and also teaches the kid. But you know, it trickles down, right? Because that's the point that he's trying to make. And then obviously Christ is our teacher. He takes care of us. He gave us the blood and all that stuff. He did the sacrifice. It trickles down. There's a hierarchy to everything. We're part of the body. Respect the role that you have. Be the best hand you can be. Be the best leg you can be, the best nose, whatever it is that you are, be the best that you can be. Because a hand cannot do what a nose can do. The head cannot do what the heart does. We have specific roles. And when the heart is pumping blood perfectly, trust me, the rest of the body will work the way it's supposed to. Think about it. The heart doesn't even get seen. You can't even see the heart, but it has one of the most important jobs. Everyone sees your hand. That's the one that's on the forefront. Everyone sees your face. That's your moneymaker. That's what everyone knows you as. That's what everyone connects your name and your entity, your identity, to your face, pretty much. Right? But the face is nothing without the heart. The heart is, the heart doesn't. It pumps for. My heart's been pumping for 34 years. You know, and every now and then I go and I'm like, damn. Like I don't even acknowledge it. I don't even take care of it. Sometimes I eat like trash, not taking care of my temple, not even making my heart work harder to take care of the rest of the body. But if I was smart, which, you know, obviously I'm getting better with through the times, on the diet, on the exercising and all that stuff, if I help my heart, who nobody really pays attention to, nobody really notices, because you don't have your heart on the outside, everything else will run smoother. The rest of your body will run smoother. I'm gonna jump over, because you know me and my rants. I'm gonna go to same book, same chapter. Same book, different chapter, verse 12. Verse 12. No, chapter 12, verse 13. Salaki. Alright. Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 13. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bound or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit. That's that same instruction, because we know the Spirit brings wisdom. It's that same. We're on the same accord, in the same way the past chapter said. Although one brother speaks Spanish, and he's good with cars, you got another brother speaking English, and he's good with. He's a doctor, right? Whatever. But they all, the instructions given to us by the Most High God, Yahweh, through the Spirit of the HAMASHHYACH, we use all that stuff, and we use the different languages, we use the different traits and jobs and God-given gifts to make the body better. And because if you look at all these other nations, they all work together for the same accord. You know, they all work together to get them on a higher thing. You go to Moab town, right? There's a Moab town in every major city. If you don't know who Moab is, there'll be a video to prove it, to say what it is, right? There's a Moab town in every major city, and they all group together. They all keep the money with them themselves. They work in different fields, but they're all on one accord. There's an Elamite, there's a chain of Elamite stores everywhere. Right? Verse 14. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, am I not of the body? Is it therefore not of the body? So if was it the foot? Since the foot is not the hand, does that not make it part of the body? No, it's just a different part with a different role. Verse 16. And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, am I not of the body? Is it therefore not of the body? It's the ear and the eye, two different things, two different senses. Trust me, if you think about this, we know that if you lose your hearing, the other senses get slightly better. Your focus gets a little bit better because you have to focus. You have to pick up the slack. The body is amazing. Israel is amazing. We will pick up the slack without you. But I really, really want you to be a part of it. If you're not being a part of it, Israel will pick up that slack. The body will pick up that slack. And like Christ says, if the hand causes you to sin, if the hand isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, it will get cut off. Right? Verse 17. If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? We don't need everybody to do the same thing. Israel, people are gonna get mad. Everyone's a rapper, right? Everyone raps. If everyone was gonna be a rapper, bro, we don't need everybody in Israel to be a rapper, right? If everyone was a doctor, who's gonna be the cooks? Right? We don't need everybody to do the same thing, talk the same, act the same, right? We dress the same, do all that. We need Israel to be what the Most High intended it. It's to be a nation, a group. What is it? Abraham's the father of many nations. Different mannerisms, different customs, but keeping the same law, worshiping the same God. Different flavors, different sauces, different ways of moving, but following the same thing, the same protocol, the same God. Verse 18. But now hath God set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it hath pleased him. So, me, who knows what I'm good at, right? I might say I'm good at this, I might be good at that. I don't get to choose what I'm good at. I can train something, but there's some things that you're naturally good at, right? There's brothers that are naturally good at dancing. That's what he made you to do. There's some brothers that are naturally good at leadership roles. Some brothers are not made for it. Who knows if I'm made for it? There's some brothers that are definitely made for it. There's ghostwriters and then there's rappers, right? There's people that are good at math, and there's people that know how to teach math. The person that's good at math, their level is through the roof. They're over here crunching numbers, human calculators, right? But the other brother or the other sister that's good at teaching math probably isn't a human calculator, but they know how to pass that information better than the person that's actually good at math. But they'll work together to get that information out. Right? There's people that like scientists. Some scientists cannot talk to people because they are just not socially there. They're just not people. They're not people. They don't know how to relay the message. So there's somebody else that's there that knows slightly what they're talking about, but they're able to relay the message. Yes, there's healers, there's people that do this, there's people that do that, and you don't have a choice in the matter. But for you to be the best asset, you need to put your pride aside and do what your gift is. First, figure it out. Sometimes a brother might help you figure out what What system might help you figure out what you're good at, what Yahweh gave to you. But as soon as you figure that out, take it and run with it, and be the best asset you can be. You don't wanna hold up the body trying to be something you're not. Verse 19. And if they were all one member, where were the body? But now there are many members, yet but one body. It's not about you, it's not about the hand, it's about the body. Verse 21. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of thee, need of you. Nobody can tell you that their job is more important than yours. Right? Have common sense. If you know, if I know, right, there's somebody that their job is to be the protector, right? The protector of the body, right? They're the hands, right? And there's not enough food to go around. And let's say I'm not the protector, I'm not the hands, right? I should know that in this event, in this situation, their job, I don't want to say their well-being, but their well-being supersedes mine at that moment. That food that's not enough to go around should probably go to the protector to be able to protect the body. I'm gonna have to sacrifice not eating for a little bit to make sure the protector can protect. An example, in the animal kingdom, you have the polar bears, right? If there's not enough food to go around, it may be a little harsh, right? It may be a little bit extreme, but the polar bear will eat, I think it's like the weakest young, or one of the young, so that she can protect the rest of the body, the rest of the children. Because if she dies, they all die. But then you have to understand, then that doesn't make the mother more important than the children? No. Because that mother polar bear knows that the younger polar bears need to grow up, because to keep things surviving, to keep her race surviving and going. In that sense, the children would probably be more important. But in that time, in that situation, that event, she is, because she's protecting them. She's making sure she can get them to adulthood so they can go have more offspring and be a protector. And then when she gets old, she's the weak link and she probably has to get left behind. Or they protect her. You see? So different situations will call for different members of the body to need to be exalted. Something's falling. My brain, my spirit is telling my hands to go catch it. My ears really aren't working at that moment. They're not all electrical current, neurons, whatever. They're shooting it to my hands, my arms, to go bam, to go catch it. Because I don't want to drop this, right? I might lose my job if I drop it, right? Hell, I've seen, there's been times where you get in a fight or flight that you won't even breathe for a little bit. Like you'll clench up to see what you're gonna do, right? So there's many things that when the lights turn off, your brain's telling your freaking your eyes to dilate a certain way so you're able to see better in the dark. It's not sending pulses to your feet to go do certain things. In different times, certain members need to be exalted, and then the eyes are helping the rest of the body, because in that dark situation they don't see. But again, going on the rant. I'm gonna jump. Oh, actually, I lost myself. 1 Corinthians, bam, verse 22. Nay, much more, those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. Verse 24. For our comely parts have no need, but God hath tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to the part which lacked, that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Because if one isn't doing their part, think about it like this, right? You're stressing how to be the best member you can be, right? The best part you can be to the body of Christ, right? And you're praying, you're fasting, you're perfecting your craft to do what you have to do. But now something happened, and now this member is not able to fulfill their role either completely or not up to par. It sucks, because you already have the mentality that now you have to step up. You're struggling and you're stressing to figure out how to do your job perfect, but now on top of that, you got to pick up that. We all suffer. But because we know that if the less that other member can fulfill their role, the more you're going to have to pick it up. So if they can do 75% of the role, and everyone else has to pick up that extra 25%, everybody knows that they have to do it, because if that 75% goes down to 25%, that's more. And then if that thing gets down to 0, you're really going to be stressing. We all suffer. We all suffer. When there's Hebrew Israelites going crazy, going off and doing some weird stuff, it makes us look bad, because we are Israelites as well. And now the modern church is looking at us collectively the same way we see all Catholics as pedophiles, right? We see all Christians as adulterers and idolaters, right? They look at us going off. When we have a different Israelite camp doing whatever it is, or when we're looking foolish, because at times we have, right? We make Israelites, we make Yasharallah look bad. And now when I've had times where I'm talking to somebody, I was doing Lyft and I'm just, preaching the word, right? Because of the way other brothers spoke to that lady. I think I have it on camera. I might put up the video. But the way the other brothers talk to that lady, now I have to work double hard. Double hard to pick up the slack, because now she already has a preconceived notion of how we move. She thinks we move the same way they did, because they messed it up. We're a body. We are the ambassadors of the message of YAHAWASHAI. And if one camp or one brother messes it up, now we are. That's why if we, like in the Sakari, if I go and say some foolish thing on camera and it gets clipped and it gets taken to the internet highway, now the rest of Sakari gotta fix my mistake. So we're about it. We want to be nip it in the butt. If they see me saying something that I shouldn't be saying, they want to nip it in the butt before it gets too bad. They don't want to do damage control. The eye doesn't want to do too much damage control. It doesn't want to overexert itself trying to pick up what the nose isn't. If I'm smelling, my nose don't work, and I'm trying to look at everything to make sure that I'm not inhaling something bad, something dangerous to the body. I'm trying to listen for maybe like a gas leak or something because my nose can't smell it. All right. Verse I'm gonna stop it right there. There's more to it. But yeah, I'm gonna jump to 2 Corinthians. There's more to it though. You know what? I'm gonna stay. Verse 27. Now ye are the body of HAMASHHYACH, and members in particular. And God hath set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healing, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. Verse 29, all apostles. Salaki, before I get into that, it's exactly what I said. There's teachers, there's people that are linguists, there's people that are just chefs, some people are just good at let's say there's a comedian. Sometimes we gotta go and blow off some steam. We go to a Israelite comic lounge. We just want to hear some jokes. Sometimes there's a poet. You're feeling down on your down on life, bro. We're in captivity, but you have that brother that's perfect with his words, or that sister that when poetry jams, right? And she's just saying things, she's just saying things that are good to you. You go to Lauryn Hill session, and she's just saying the right things at the right time, and you leave there uplifted, and now you're able to go teach the word better than you did a couple days ago because you're listening to some Lauryn Hill. Right? Different jobs. We all have different jobs. Verse 29, are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles? Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you more excellent way. Do your job, and he's going to open up the world to you. Right? 2 Corinthians 6 and 1. It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 1. We then as workers together with him beseech you also that ye receive not the grace. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 1. We then as workers together with him beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of God in vain. For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Verse 3. Given in no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. Like I said earlier, like a minute or two earlier. Act accordingly, so that the ministry doesn't get blamed. Be the proper hand. Be the proper eye. Verse 4. But in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of God, in much patience, in affliction, in necessities, in distress, in stripes, verse 5, in stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults, in labors, in watchings, in fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, by love unfeigned, by the word of, because when you, Salaki, when you're, how do I say it? Because when you're a part of a body and you're picking up the slack of another or just doing your job correctly, it's because you love your people. Right? You love your people, so you're not making them look bad. You're picking up their slack. You're picking up long hours. Like if a man that picks up long hours, working overnights, whatever, for his family, right? For he's killing his body for his family, right? You have. I'll give an example, and forgive me if you didn't want me using it as an example, but our teacher, the leader of our camp, takes time out of his family, does very long hours. I remember the last time I seen him, I was like, yo, bro, you gotta get some sleep, right? He's beating himself up for the body, right? Long hours, long studying, long. You got a lot of people saying this and that about him, mocking him and whatever, for the body. It's because he loves his people. So when you want to be the best member you can be, love your people. I mean, to be the best member you can be, you have to love your people, because you're not going to suffer for somebody you don't love. Verse 7. By the word of truth, by the power of God, by the armor of righteousness, on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying, and behold, we live, and behold, we live, as chastened and not killed, as sorrowful, yet always rejoicing, as poor, yet making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. Right? So when you love your people, you're gonna be a better asset to the body. Right? As you can tell, I'm getting really tired. It's 6 in the morning. Just popped into my spirit to do this quick little lesson. To be the best asset to YAHAWASHAI, to Jesus, who the world calls Jesus, you need to know how to be part of a body. Do your role to the best ability, to the best of your ability. Yeah, so I just finished doing that little lesson on. I just want to add one more thing to it, because when you work together and you're in a group and around like-minded people, the body, you are protected. You're more protected, right? Ecclesiastes 4. Just want to throw in one more real quick. Ecclesiastes 4:8. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother, yet there is no end of all his labor. So he's working hard, right? He's trying to be the best member he can be. He's trying to be the best thing he can, right? Neither is his eye satisfied with riches, neither saith he, for whom do I labor and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity. Yeah, it is a sore travail. So the one that's by himself, and he's just working hard just for himself, it's not godlike. He doesn't want that. It's not Yahweh-like. Right? But also he's not protected. Verse 9. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe unto him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. So we are part of a body. We're gonna make sure one another is good. We're gonna buy from our own. We're gonna drink from our own cistern. We're gonna make sure the money stays within ourselves, the information stays within ourselves, the love stays within ourselves. I just wanted to throw that in there. It was just a quick little one. Shalom, YAHAWASHAI, Shalom.